Fundraising in 2026 is going to look very different than anything you've seen in the past several years. That's because how people want to engage with causes is changing fast. Think about it. We are in a chaotic, information overloady type of world. So potential donors don't just want to hear about impact anymore. They want to interact with it. They want to touch it and try it and vote on it and share it and feel like they're a part of it. And in this challenging funding environment, nonprofits are being pushed to get more creative. And some of the ideas that I've been seeing lately are actually really smart. So in this video, I'm sharing 6 of the most promising, fresh nonprofit fundraiser ideas for 2026. These are going to be a mix of in-person, hybrid, and virtual fundraisers that are all designed to do 2 things at the same time: raise money and build real relationships and momentum around your mission. I'll also flag which one can help you build recurring revenue and which one upgrades peer-to-peer fundraising in a way that most nonprofits haven't tried yet. And don't worry, these are small and mid-sized, nonprofit friendly, no giant galas required. Quick context if we haven't met yet. Hello, I'm Amber. I started a nonprofit years ago. I built it up from scratch to a sustainable, thriving organization. And now I help train nonprofit founders and social impact leaders across the United States on strategy, growing your impact, fundraising, and more. All right, let's get into it. The big theme I keep seeing across fundraising right now is trust plus clarity plus connection. Trust is really fragile across society, and organizations that feel transparent and human are the ones that are really standing out. So think of these as just practical ideas you can borrow or test or adapt. And as you're listening, I want you to ask yourself which one of these feels doable for us this year. Sometimes just trying one new approach can open up some new, unexpected funding streams. So in 2026, people want to experience a mission before committing to donating towards it. Instead of a basic pop-up table at community events or in public areas with brochures, the idea here is that you create an impact demo booth. This is a small hands-on station that you can set up at a few tables where someone can actually experience or do a piece of your mission in 2 to 4 minutes. Your impact demo booth might include not just information about your cause, but also opportunities to do things like write a short note of encouragement for someone you serve, pack a mini care kit, do a 90-second quiz or trivia about the issue that you tackle, snap a themed photo that tells part of your story, etc. Now, here's how this raises money. At your booth, you're going to pair this emotional, tactile moment with a really low friction donation ask, like a QR code or a tap to give. Be sure to also capture new email signups so that you can follow up afterward. And that way, even if someone doesn't give on the spot, you've started a relationship. A real-life example of this is Culture House. They use short-term pop-ups to draw people into meaningful community interaction and conversation about public spaces and placemaking. And their approach is proof that small, temporary experiences can create real engagement and get great feedback that then translates into support. So if you want to give this idea a try, here's a first small step. Pick one micro action or activity tied to your mission. Maybe it's a quiz to see how much people know about the issue you solve, or an invitation for people to draw a picture of their perfect community center and then add a QR code that lets people opt into your mailing list or donate. And then you want to train volunteers stationed at your impact demo booth to open with something like, want to try a 2-minute version of what we do? Which brings me to idea number 2, and this one completely opens up a completely different funding stream. I love this one because what a lot of nonprofits don't realize is that companies are actively looking for team building experiences that feel meaningful. A 4-hour impact challenge is a half-day mission-aligned event where employees work in teams to complete fun, purposeful tasks connected to your cause. So this might include using their professional skills to solve a real scenario that your organization is facing, or creating a mock awareness or advertising campaign, or participating in empathy building exercises like poverty simulators or issue-based trivia, like we said before, or assembling or creating materials for those that you serve. Now, this raises money by charging companies a registration fee per team. This can be anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. Because you're saving the company time and effort coming up with a team builder, the cost is often worth it to them. And this turns your nonprofit into a paid corporate social responsibility partner that helps companies meet their own social impact goals too. Here's one really fun example that I have seen in person, and it's an animal rescue organization that partners with special event organizers or companies to bring a puppy brigade to the event in exchange for a fee. Now, this helps generate revenue and cover costs for the organization and helps people at the event or office have fun with puppies and raises awareness about the dogs too, increasing chances of adoption. So it's a triple win. If you want to give this idea a try, start by creating a one-page challenge menu with 2 or 3 package options and a clear outcome. This is one of those ideas that looks like an event, but it's really about that bigger theme we've been talking about, which is designing fundraising that people actually want to participate in. A few of the next ideas take that even further. Now, this third one is simple, but it's surprisingly powerful because it's going to bring your own volunteers and existing supporters into your mission in a totally new way. A community skill swap fundraiser invites supporters to teach one bite-sized skill in a 15 or 20-minute session. Maybe your volunteers teach someone life budgeting basics or a creative writing technique or a quick photography skill or tips for using Canva or even do resume reviews. People donate per session, buy an all-access pass, or contribute what they can. And that's how this event raises money. Attendees might donate for each learning session they do, or buy that pass to try multiple learning sessions, or contribute what they can on maybe a sliding scale or pay what you can. Revenue could also come from sponsorships, though, and costs stay low because facilitators or volunteers sharing the skills that they already have. What I love about this idea is how timely it is, too. In a tough economy, people want affordable learning and connection, and this idea kind of does both. So if you want to give this one a try, you might pilot test it as a 90-minute event with 5 or 6 sessions, and there's really no fancy tech or big venue needed. Now, before we get into a few more ideas using online giving and recurring support models, I want to quickly thank the sponsor that makes a lot of this possible for new and growing nonprofits. Click and Pledge's fundraising platform really makes it easy for nonprofits to grow and scale and try new ideas like the ones that we've been talking about here with confidence. You'll get professional grade tools for super affordable startup level costs from day one. They've got customizable donation forms that you can plug right into your website, creating the foundation for your messaging and your online fundraising strategy. But Click and Pledge also has a number of other tools included in their affordable monthly flat costs that you can use as your nonprofit is growing, like their Swiper One tool that lets you collect donations at in-person events, feeding them directly into your platform so you don't have to do data entry later. They also have peer-to-peer fundraising features, video fundraising with embedded donation links right in the videos, text-to-give tools, donor stewardship and management tools to help keep your relationships with donors strong, Salesforce and other integrations, and they're all included with no contracts or surprise add-on fees. Now, unlike some platforms that increase your fees as you grow, Click and Pledge pricing stays the same whether you have 10 donors or 10,000. So use the QR code and link in the description to check out Click and Pledge, book a demo, and get your first $25 monthly fee waived. Now, this year, monthly giving is getting an upgrade. In 2026, supporters don't just want to set it and forget it. They want to feel like they belong to something. So that's where this fourth idea of micro memberships comes in. It feels like joining a community of insiders instead of just making a monthly donation and then not engaging with the cause much further. Here's how micro memberships work and raise money. You'd have different monthly giving levels like normal, $10 or $50 a month. But then, kind of like a Patreon for creators, donors would get exclusive behind-the-scenes updates, invitations to quarterly live Q&As, invites to tours or group volunteer activities, and maybe even short impact videos or notes. Micro memberships, like traditional recurring donations, can create predictable recurring revenue that compounds over time. That improves your cash flow stability, so it's super important. But on top of that, you get a more engaged community of donors more likely to keep giving over time, which increases their donor lifetime value. A real life example of this is Charity Water's The Spring. This giving membership shows how strong branding and storytelling can make monthly giving feel more like joining a movement. If you want to give this a try, start by giving your monthly giving community a name and a brand, and figure out what consistent monthly engagements you can offer, even if it's just a couple-minute video to start out. So here's another one. In 2026, donors are really looking for clarity. Vague messaging and unclear outcomes mean people are going to shy away from giving to your cause, and for good reason. If they can't understand how funds will actually matter, why would they donate? So this next idea uses one of my favorite framing strategies. It's really simple and empowering, I think. It's the Remove a Roadblock fundraising campaign, and it lets supporters fund a specific barrier that your organization helps eliminate for the people that you serve. So that could be things like transportation to get to medical appointments, or childcare barriers, or technology access to search for jobs or learn, or essential program tools like meeting space to expand help to more people that you serve. So you'd raise money by setting up a page that lets donors choose which roadblock removal they want to fund. You'd structure the page with clear, itemized options to reduce donor hesitation and increase conversion because people immediately understand what their gift enables. Donors Choose is actually a really great example of how powerful this framing is. So if you're not familiar, it works by letting donors fund a specific classroom need from a list of options and see what they're impacting right away. To give this one a try, list your top 5 roadblocks standing in the way for your clients and assign real dollar amounts and present them visually like a menu. And the last idea builds on this idea of donor clarity, but adds shared ownership. Now, traditional peer-to-peer fundraising says, here's our cause, go raise money for it. But in 2026, we're leaning into co-creation models by inviting supporters to help shape the campaign they're about to champion themselves. Now, my fellow type A friends, before your hearts start racing, because I can see it from here, co-creation doesn't mean completely handing over your mission. It means inviting supporters to help shape the parts of the campaign that make it easier and more exciting for them to show up and invite others in. For example, you might invite supporters to vote on which program outcomes to fund this quarter based on your top needs, or help come up with names for the campaign, or come up with a list of stories of impact they've seen while out volunteering to share during the campaign, or help review fundraising materials and offer feedback to make them more appealing and clear. While the fundraising mechanism here itself is a peer-to-peer campaign, this updated approach to planning the campaign is likely to increase how much you can raise, and here is why. According to research by Harvard Business School and others, people with a sense of psychological ownership have greater buy-in and are more likely to help out. That means that when supporters understand and help shape the story they're telling other people, they fundraise more confidently and with greater motivation, also leading to more active participants and higher dollars raised. So to try this one out, try a short supporter survey and let them help choose the focus for your next peer-to-peer fundraising campaign. So here's your big takeaway. You need fundraising that fits how people actually want to show up today. My suggestion is to pick one idea that matches your capacity right now. Test it small, learn from it, and build from there, because the nonprofits that build real momentum are building clear and repeatable fundraising systems that can grow over time. And if you want help putting structure around that, especially if you're early stage or trying to break through your first big fundraising milestone, I created a resource specifically for that phase. It's my $0 to $100,000 nonprofit fundraising starter toolkit. And this is my complete fundraising system that walks you step by step through building a fundraising plan to reach your first major fundraising goal, even if you're starting from scratch. I'm going to link to the toolkit below for you to check out, and it's there if you want something more guided than starting from a blank page. Next week, I'm talking through what it takes to succeed as a nonprofit founder today and what the most successful nonprofit founders have in common. You don't want to miss that one. I'm Amber Melanie Smith. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.